samarthyam tato dukkataram nukin. Translation purport given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Your enemies will describe you in many unkind words and scorn your ability. What could be more painful for you? But Lord Krishna was astonished in the beginning at Arjuna's uncalled for plea for compassion, and he described his compassion as befitting the non-Aryans. Now, in so many words, he has proved his statements against Arjuna's so-called compassion. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanasalakaya Chakshurunmanitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupaka Dhamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivashari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam Pangam Langayate Giran Kripatamaham Vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam. Hare Krishna. So, I want to, we can continue this discussion, but I would like to see if anyone has any questions. Let us see if today we'll try to address few questions. Does anyone has any questions? Like you have any difficulties in following Krishna consciousness? You've been hearing since a while, but just want to see if anyone has any questions, any obstacles in Krishna consciousness? Because I kind of feel that we should discuss that. If you have if everything is great, then I can take a topic to discuss. But I want to see, general, if anyone has any questions, like you have any concerns, or you see you've been the like you're stuck somewhere in the process, not know how to come out of it. Because one time, the reason why I'm asking is generally after the process of hearing, we come to a point that somebody is asking, what did we learn through the process of hearing? Means you might say some general statements stating that it is about Krishna. Krishna consciousness is nice. It's a good process. But we don't go into the details of it. So when we assess or churn the reason behind it, we don't know why we don't go into the details of it. We really want to go into the details, but somehow something is obstructing us. What is that obstruction? How is it obstructing? Should learn or curb that. So, on the other hand, let us see if anyone has any questions, any concerns, any issues. Because we are all practicing the process since a while. So, what are our reflections? You can share your reflections also. Not that you only have questions. You might have some reflections also. Like your inspiration. Share that. Let us keep this open. Let us see if anyone wants to speak or ask anything, any questions, any concerns. Anyone has any?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Amma Hare Krishna, Rupa
Dandavat
Purnima.
Pranam all to Papat Guru Maharaj. Prabhuji,
Amma
like in practicing Krishna consciousness, when everything is going nice, then
Yeah.
the Krishna consciousness also like it's not very good. But when some problem comes, then we become serious and we do Krishna Krishna, and we are like then we try to do everything possible because we want to kind of run away from that problem which you're facing in the material world and want to um, just think of Krishna only, and but if everything is going well in the material life, then we just I'm just saying for myself, one becomes like, okay, we have to do this, and actually we are happy in the material world, because everything is going fine, but we are doing it just like upper say. But when some problem actually comes, some family members health problem, our own health problem, that is a time when the bhakti is most serious. So I just wanted to share this. I don't know if it's a reflection or it's just something which others also face.
Actually,
Yeah.
actually, it is very important aspect which you brought in. Thank you for being very honest. That's the general notion for most of the sadhakas. When little comfort zone is being given, we forget everything and we tend to stay in that comfort zone and then we continue our process. And obviously, our process of practice will also be slackened because we are in that zone of comfort state. Now, you brought up another aspect here. What is that aspect here is you told that when difficulties come, we say Krishna Krishna, but to add on to that, only when the difficulties are coming, we say Krishna Krishna. That is far better than all the atheistic people in this world. Definitely, that is far better. But another aspect which we need to take into consideration is when the difficulties are removed, why we forget the Lord? That is a question which we need to ask. Because the difficulties are there, we are taking the shelter of the Lord. Okay, that is well and good. That is at the we are pressing the pedal at the right time. That is good. Not that that is bad. Definitely that is good. But why we are only pressing the pedal when there is a difficulty? Why we are not pressing the pedal when there is not difficulties? And what is our vision to take the difficulty? Actually, what is difficulty in our life? That's another question. That means what exactly this difficulty is. If you closely observe your devotees, difficulty is from our side is depends on our attachments to this world. For example, if a person has attachment to money, then let's say if he invested his money in the stock market, I know devotees don't invest, just generally telling. Let's say if a person is investing money in the stock market and then stock crashed, or let's say he invested all the money in one stock market or one company or something like that. Then that company went bankruptcy. That he has no idea that the company will go bankruptcy. That was all his profits there in that company, and then he was thinking that the company will do great, but somehow the company got bewildered and then went and filed bankruptcy. So that's a very crude example in one's life that okay, all his gains, all his profits were kept in that particular company. Now that company is no longer there. So the person will see that as the greatest difficulty. Now, if a person doesn't have any attachment to the money, then will he see that as a difficulty? He will not see that as a difficulty because he doesn't have attachment to that. But on the other side, a person who has attachment, which is quite normal, everyone has attachment to Dhana, Jana, Sundari in this world. So, Dhana, everyone is attached to that. So, when people are attached to Dhana, what happens is they're uh, they generally feel that as a difficult state in their life. So that means difficulty, your difficulty is not my difficulty, or my difficulty is not your difficulty. That your difficulty is difficulty to you, my difficulty is difficult to me. That means your difficulty is not giving a difficulty to me, then my difficulty is not giving a difficulty to you. That means your difficulty is your difficulty, my difficulty is my difficulty. And then everything is unique. It's like you are unique, I am unique. Your perceptions are unique, my perceptions are unique. Your way of seeing the world is different, my way of seeing the world is different. Based on association. Wherever we are associated, we get that kind of inspirations. So for a beggar, the difficulty is something else. If he gets if he gets today's meal, if he doesn't have meal today, then it's a difficulty for him. But is that a difficulty for us? There's no problem for us because we get everyday meals. Because we are there in that particular state where the difficulty is the beggar is facing, that's not a difficulty for us. So technically, a question is being asked, what is this difficulty? There is difficulty from the truthful platform also. A sadhaka, if he comes with the difficulty the truthful plane is giving, when he sees the difficulty through that plane, then rest everything is not difficult for him. Because rest everything is on the untruth plane. For example, money, no doubt it is required for the sustenance. We should have minimum amount of money to maintain ourselves. Definitely. There's no problem, there's no wrong that to have money. How, why, how much, that is, those are the details. Based on the attachment. For example, if a person is too attached to money, then his way of seeing this world is different. If person is not attached, rather is attached to the spiritual master, rather is attached to the Lord, then that money is used in their service. As simple as that, because the person is not attached to the money, rather the person is attached to the person. That means what is the difficulty for this person? If this person is not there for him in his life, let's say the spiritual master and the Lord is not there in his life, then that is a difficulty for him. Because he is in what state? He is in the state where it's a complete selflessness. That is the whole point why Arjuna was speaking these things. In this particular shloka, your enemies will describe you in many unkind words and scorn your ability. What could be more painful for you? That means what exactly here is been told, are your enemies, they put you down. What is more difficult than that? Vamshi Krishna bro, can you mute yourself, please?
Yes, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, bro. So your difficulty is, what is your enemies will describe in many unkind words. That is difficulty. Hmm? Why that is difficulty? Because you're not fighting the battle because of them. And then they are not treating you because the way you are leaving the battle, you're leaving the battle because of for them, but they see you in a different way, completely different from what you perceived. That means the way a person actually deals doesn't mean that the same other person is also reflecting him in the same way. Please understand, this person is leading in one way, that doesn't mean that the other person will also lead in the same way. The other person's reading might be different. This person's reading is different. This means the other person's dealing is also different. That means our way of seeing the truth is different. His way of seeing the truth is also different. Hope you are understanding. The point of discussion from where we came is, if everything is going great, generally our Krishna consciousness is in a relaxed mode. Right? But when things get heated up, because really there are problems, that's when we begin calling Krishna. Why? It's not that we have devotion to the Lord. Please understand. Person has really devotion to the Lord, irrespective of the situation, he will have devotion to the Lord. This situation that we are discussing is, the person is calling out to the Lord, stating that you remove this difficulty. Because if you remove this difficulty, again I'll come and continue what I'm doing before. Generally, this is how it is happened. I'm not pointing anyone again because we are trying to check our consciousness. We are trying to see where we can correct our consciousness. Because we are all sadhakas, we want to practice Krishna consciousness on a higher level. So, Generally, we come to the Lord to remove the difficulty. Example of Mataji's mother might be ill health. She's going through a difficulty. Immediately, they'll ask, Prabhu, please pray. Pray for what? Pray for the well-being only. So, is that the prayer for advancement in Krishna consciousness? No, Krishna consciousness is later. First, health has to be given. Now, if Krishna doesn't want that person's health to be improved, then what can we do? We cannot do anything. Right? We are dependent. That means the prayer which we are doing, the thought process in which we are, whatever we are doing, we are all dependent here, devotees. We're not independent here. Let's say that person has to leave the body. There's no scope of improvement. It doesn't mean that we don't pray. We pray for that. But what is a real prayer also we need to understand. No doubt we will pray for the well-being of that person. But what is a real prayer is for their advancement in Krishna consciousness. We don't know. Why am I telling this? Why that is real prayer? No doubt we have to ask for a good health. Because good health for what? To Krishna practice Krishna consciousness. Krishna, if you give better health, I can practice. If you do not give better health, that's okay. I will use the best of my ability and then try to move to my next destination. Everything is mercy. That giving good health is your mercy. Not giving health is also your mercy. Oh, my dear Lord, but do me one thing. Give me one favor. Do me a favor. No matter which situation you keep me, I should always remember your glories. I should always take shelter of the lotus feet of you. And then I should always be indebted to my teachers. And I should be compassionate to all the living entities in this world. This is a prayer of Parikshit Maharaj. It is a prayer. My dear Lord, I should always take shelter of your lotus feet. And then whoever is inspiring me to take the shelter of the lotus feet, which is a pure devotee, I should always be indebted to them and be grateful to them, acknowledging their presence in my life. And the third step is to be compassionate to every living entities. Just see this prayer, dear devotees. This is something astonishing. Why am I telling you this is something astonishing? Because if you actually closely observe, the prayer is a very selfless prayer. In that prayer, our well-being is automatically covered. But what is he looking is he's not looking for any material benefit or material solve that problem. Just like Shringi cursed Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj, if you see these three prayers which he spoke, in that none of the prayer is speaking on removing the curse. Oh, my dear Lord, please remove the curse so that I can continue my kingdom. No. Because those personalities, they never did anything. They never did anything in their life for their benefit. I always think about this. Since childhood, we've been trained in such a way that you do everything for your own self. Then all of a sudden, after coming to Krishna consciousness, when we hear that we should become selfless, will that really, can we digest that? Can we really digest? Up until we come to Krishna consciousness, we go or we deal in this world in so many ways. Our mother will tell, tomorrow you are getting results. Go to Ganesh temple, pray to Ganesh Maharaj, he'll give good results. Go to Lord Shiva, make another prayer. See, you're not getting married. Go to Lord Shiva's temple and pray for him. He will give you good husband. Go to Mother Parvati. She will give you good wife. We've seen this so many prayers. We've seen this so many times by our parents telling us. But if we actually closely observe, those are all the prayers for ourselves. Ourself means ourself to stick on to this material world. Please understand. The prayer which Parikshit Maharaj, that is also for him only. But that prayer is on a different level. He is asking, please give me an opportunity so that I be compassionate to the other living entities. What is that? What is that being compassionate to the other living entities? That means he wants to develop that kind of consciousness. Now, that also seems to be his personal prayer. But if you actually close your observe, that is on a transcendental plan. Because any prayer which is connected to the Lord, to his pure devotees, it is on a transcendental plan. There is no harm to pray to the Lord, oh my dear Lord, please give me an opportunity so that I can serve my spiritual master in a better way. Please give me Krishna consciousness. This prayer is a perfect prayer. After hearing all Krishna consciousness, you pray to the Lord, oh my dear Lord, please give me Lakshmi. I have 100K, please give me 200K salary. This is, Krishna will not accommodate this. The Devi Devatas might accommodate. If you go to Mother Lakshmi, she might accommodate. Yesterday is a festival in India. Hmm. Celebrate this Lakshmi Puja. Everyone will do Lakshmi Puja in their home. Why? They want to, they are requesting Lakshmi Devi, please come and then reside at our home. But if you actually closely observe, Lakshmi Devi is there, but her consort is not there. Because there is no need for the consort. All they want is Lakshmi only. When they want Lakshmi, what is the need of the consort? What is the need of her Prananada, Krishna or Vishnu? What is the need of him? They want money only. That means you come and stay here at our home. Oh, how she can stay at one's home? Because she belongs to the Lord. That is the whole point. She is Chanchala here. It means that Lakshmi is not used in the service of the Lord, it becomes Chanchala. Chanchala hi mana Krishna. Just like the mind is Chanchala, Mother Lakshmi is also Chanchala. But everyone, they do this puja. They also give holidays to the schools on Friday, yesterday. Why? Because everyone will be doing this puja. It's very important. Because if you actually see what is this prayer, now overall, if you see this is a good prayer only because they're asking for money. They're not robbing, they're not cheating anyone, they're asking Mother Lakshmi only directly. But if we closely observe, this prayer is connected to this material world. That's why it is deemed as selfish. This is what exactly happens. If we have this attitude and then we come to Krishna consciousness, we chant our rounds for our well being only. We do all these sadhanas for our well being only. But none of those things are done for the pleasure of the Lord. Or none of those things are done for the pleasure of the spiritual master. That the activities and the service which are done for their pleasure will actually give one's happiness, one will give one satisfaction and happiness to the heart. When these prayers are done on a selfish plan, me and mine, just like we pray to the Lord when the difficulties are there. Why? Because you remove the difficulties. So what will happen after that? We will continue what I was doing before. So this kind of prayer will not help. Why? No doubt, Lord will help. If you are asking, going asking as a father, Lord will definitely help. But Lord will be pleased even more when our state of consciousness is further advanced. We are restricting Lord only to these things. That means when I have a difficulty, I go to the Lord. When I don't have a difficulty, I don't remember Him. For example, if everything is going good, why don't we appreciate the Lord? Because, my dear Lord, through your presence only, through your grace only, I was able to get up in the morning. Through your grace only, I was able to do some service. Through your grace only, I was able to chant the rounds. So that means all this grace is given by the Lord, and all the consciousness is given to us by the spiritual master. That means if all of these things we are at the receiving end, then why don't we give it back? And actually, what kind of selflessness is there? Whatever they are giving, we are trying to reward, we are trying to give it back to them. I don't see this also as a selfless act. Because we're reciprocating for what they have given. If you see a tree, she's giving shade and shelter to whoever comes. A tree is not giving shade and shelter for his relatives, for his cousin, or for his friend, or for the person who has kept the seed in the ground. The tree is not partial. The tree is on a selfish way. No matter whoever comes, no matter it's so hot outside, they will feel cool and serene under the tree. It means the tree, irrespective of the situation, it is becoming self. It is selfless. Oh, the Lord wants us to develop this kind of attitude. When we develop this kind of attitude, the attitude of selflessness, then what happens here? What is? You have a difficulty. You have a serious problem. A serious concern is there. Now, how do we go and deal about it? Move forward with that? It's interesting, right? For example, there's really a difficulty in one's life. But how do we go and deal about it? What do we do? We understand it as a mercy of the Lord. We just move forward. Whatever is being given. Because we know, dear devotees, we are not pertaining to this particular body or to this particular group or to this particular caste or to this particular nation or to this particular citizenship. You're not that. Oh, externally you might ask, oh, you have green card or you're still on H1B or your citizenship. But we are not that. We are something else. But that something else comes on a plane of selflessness. Example, a sadhaka, and he really goes through a difficulty to understand the science of Krishna consciousness, then he tells the Lord, oh, my dear Lord, thank you, my dear Lord, you have given me little difficulty, but actually I deserve more. Tatte lukampam susamikshamanam bunjana yeva atmakatam vibhagam. My dear Lord, I should suffer more because I know I cheated so many people. I used so many people. I was so selfish. But you're giving very small difficulty. My consciousness is very bad, untidy, but still you're giving me only small difficulties. Oh, my dear Lord, it's your grace. It's through your grace only I'm getting this small difficulty. Actually, I'm supposed to suffer more. But Krishna, through your mercy, I'm getting only little difficulty here. Thank you for that. Actually, I don't deserve this kind of reciprocation from you. What is this? As difficulty is going, and then in that difficulty, this is what the devotee is thinking. He's not thinking, my dear Lord, remove this difficulty. Because after difficulty is removed, there's so many wonderful Vaishnava acharyas. You see through the life of Srila Prabhupada, when he was in a difficult state, especially in Vrindavan, he's reflecting all his previous life. He's telling, oh, my dear Lord, now you have kept me in this particular state. Oh, where is my family? Where is my wife? Where is my children? Where is my father? Where are all these people? Not connected to any one of them. Thank you, my dear Lord. And then when Prabhupada was going through greatest difficulty, Prabhupada was actually telling, oh, my dear Lord, you have shown me the naked truth of this world. Thank you. Thank you. And he always says that, my dear Lord, please give me an opportunity. No matter what difficulties come, I always take shelter. See the prayers. That means what are they doing? They're not rejecting the difficulties, but what are they doing? They're trying to embrace the difficulties and then trying to take deeper shelter through those difficulties. That means what happens is the difficulties becomes a relishment in the future. The difficulty will become a greatest memory, memorable experience to you because you have actually gone through the difficulty. Then when you think about the difficulty, you'll understand, oh, Krishna has protected me through this difficulty in this way. By the mercy of my spiritual master, I was able to read through this. Because if the spiritual master is not there, then how could I read through the difficulty which is being given by the Lord? Cannot read through the difficulties. The difficulties have to be read through. I need to know what the difficulty is, why the difficulty is being kept. Well, is this the whole point why Krishna says this material world is Dukhalayam Ashwastham? Exactly. Now, why Krishna has kept this world as Dukhalayam Ashwastham? No, Krishna, we are part and parcel of the Lord. We came from the spiritual world. We are in this particular material world. Why is that Lord keeping us in that particular state? He could have changed that statement into Dukhalayam Ashashvatam to Sukhalayam Shashvatam. If this Dukhalayam Ashashvatam has been transformed to Sukhalayam Shashvatam, means so much happiness continuously, eternally, then do we ever go to his abode? We will never go to his abode. Actually, through this Dukhalayam Ashwashrutam only we are not going to his abode. It's very interesting. Through Dukhalayam Ashwashrutam only we are not going to the Lord. Then how will we go to the Lord when if it is Sukhalayam Shashwatam? Dukhalayam Ashwashrutam means temporary, difficult place, temporary. Dukhala, miseries. It's a full of miseries, but it is temporary. But these miseries are transformed to luxurious or opulent. So much opulence and permanent. Do we ever go? We will never ever go. That means we completely turned toward. We are already turned towards the Lord, turned away from the Lord. How can we go back if all the sukhas are given without any difficulties? So this is the exact reason. There is a reason why there are difficulties here. The difficulties help us to take more and more deeper shelter in the process. Now, tomorrow, if we have a difficulty, please understand that is a mercy of the Lord. Actually, we're supposed to suffer more. We've been given only little less. Now, do we have to think like that? Or it is exactly like that? It is exactly like that. Why it is exactly like that? Because see, when you when you correlate this truth further, if I am there here since millions of lifetimes, that means will I be Prahlad Maharaj for millions of lifetimes? No. Then what kind of attitude we will have? Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha. Oh, we will be having that kind of attitude. Through that kind of attitude, we might have passed through some human form of lives also. That means through when a person passes through the human forms of life, then there is an every chance and scope that he can do sinful activities. Through the sinful activities, what happens? Karmic reaction will happen. Through that karmic reaction, what is happening is continuously coming here again and again. Now, why is he doing sinful activity, or why is he trying to gratify his own senses? Because he's wanted to get some happiness through that. There's no happiness there. He thinks that there is happiness. There's only dukhala in there. There's no happiness there, dear devotees. But he personally is thinking that there is happiness. Oh, please understand this. This is a very, very interesting. This is a very interesting aspect which we need to meditate on a deeper level. Why the Lord has kept us difficulties? There's a reason. Because Lord wants us to come back. You have difficulties, I have difficulties. It's good for us. We take more shelter. Now I'll tell another difficulty, which is there to every person in this world. That difficulty is on the difficulty of the absolute plane. There are difficulty at different levels, which I began the conversation. Your difficulty is not my difficulty is not your difficulty. The difficulty is different states. But there's a difficulty on the absolute truth, which our acharyas are giving. What is that? Jalma Muttu Jara Vyadhi. What is that? Birth, death, old age, disease. Four aspects. What is that? Birth, death, old age, disease. What is this birth, death, old age, disease? Birth, death, old age, disease are the real problem. Not I have health issue. Obviously, you'll get health issues. You're driving a car, Prabhu. After some time, don't you have issues in the car? I had issues with my car. I was driving all of a sudden. The main function, I don't remember the name of it, stopped working. That means the problems will come. Please understand this, dear devotees. We are not here without any problems. We are not here without any issues or concerns in this world. We have problems here. And the problems are meant for higher purpose. Birth, death, old age is a real problem. Taking birth is a problem actually. Now, who will go and sit in a mother's womb for 9 months? Very difficult state. We all did it. Don't remember that, but that's a big problem for us. Death, is it not a problem? Yes, the person who's actually seeing, he'll understand that, oh, this person is dying. This is a problem for him. But the person who is dying, he'll also feel that that is a problem, but he cannot tell that it is a problem. And the person who is seeing, he has his own perceptions. He might feel that as a problem, but he will not feel that as a real problem because he don't think that he will die one day. This is another interesting aspect in this world. we would never perceive that we will die in this one. Do we ever think that we will die, dear devotees? We don't think that we will die. Why? There's a reason for that. Not one reason, multiple reasons for that. Because you're not this body, you're a spirit soul. The spirit soul doesn't have death. It goes continuously. That nature which is there in the soul, that nature is applied to us. Now that is the whole point. When we come into this particular material world, in this particular material body, when we are changing this material body, we are within this material body, we don't think that I will leave this body or I will die one day. That is the whole point. We have so many things. We have homes, we have cars, we have this, that, luxury, so many things. Why? There's a reason for that. The whole point behind it is we don't feel that we will die. As when I don't feel that I will die, I will try to capitulate. I'll try to bring everything together. I'll try to feel that this is good, that is good. Because I'm not this body, I'm a spirit soul. But we don't realize that we are not this body, but a powerful spirit soul. We do that in this particular body, thinking that this body is permanent. Because the nature of permanence is there through the soul. The jiva has that. But when that is transformed into this body, through this body is also is perceiving that is permanent. Please understand, this is another interesting aspect. Through this body also, the jiva is perceiving that I am here forever. Please understand. This problem which is going through in this particular world is a very serious problem, dear devotees. This is not something ordinary. This is not an ordinary problem where this problem is gone just like that. This birth, death, old age diseases are there continuously. Through the fear of death also, we get so many inferiority complex. Because the death which we have gone through in our previous life, that death is a real problem because through that death we went through so many insecurities. The trauma, we have experienced the trauma. That trauma experience is exactly moved to the next body. That's why you see some children, they are insecure. They feel insecure. Some adults also they feel insecure because that's a trauma which they have experienced in their previous life. Now that experience is also carried forward through the consciousness. Now this carried forward through the subtle body. This is a difficulty. That means the previous life where you have experienced the difficulty, you are continuing the trauma in the next life. Wow. That means even though you have done pious activities to receive a human form of life, but still that human form of life will be a disaster because you have a bad experience before. We don't discuss these difficulties. We discuss small difficulties. We don't discuss the big difficulties on the absolute truth. When a sadhaka discusses the big difficulties on the absolute truth, then he'll understand the greatness of this process. That means, is there a solution for me? Yes, Krishna consciousness is a solution. Shavana Kirtan is a solution for us. But when I'm not absorbed in the difficulties of which is coming through this absolute truth, which is actually our real thing, because all we deal with this body only, dear devotees. What we will think every day? How do I get my H1B? How do I transfer that? How do I become a citizenship? How do I get a green card? How do I maintain my house loan? How do I maintain my insurance? How do I pay? Oh, my insurance is about to expire. I need to renew that. My health insurance is about to. I'm not saying that we shouldn't do all of those things. What I'm saying is our vision is limited to that. Our vision is not expanded. When our vision is not expanded, what happens is a problem for us. Actually, this is a real problem. Absorbing in the so-called material things is a real problem for us. Sadhaka should try to come out of that. Bharata Maharaj didn't have any problems, but he had one attachment to the deer. He left everything and then he got fixed up to the deer. And then at the time of death, he was thinking, oh, what will happen to my deer? Just see dear over this. A person who gave up everything, that person is thinking about the deer at the time of death. What a big problem is this? That we see the attachment. This you have to be fearful for this attachment. You have to be fearful. "Arey, will I be attached to this? Will I be attached to that? Oh, this is not right. This is not right. So let us be attached to the Shastras. Let us be attached to the scriptures. Let us go deeper into the scriptures. This way it was. Here, Arjuna was being shattered through different situations, and then now Krishna is telling you wanted to leave this battle, but you see what will your cousins will think about you? You are thinking that out of compassion attitude you are leaving, but they are thinking that you are coward. They will think that you are coward. They will think that you are a fearful person. They will think that you lost your composure as a Kshatriya. Kshatriya means you will never go back. But your going back is on a different shade because you are in a different plane. But they will not think like that because they are not in that plane. So it's a very interesting, subtle science data about it. We need to understand this. We need to observe. Our mind will trick us in so many ways. Our mind will want that only, which, for example, you're doing something. And then the other devotees might be doing some other thing. Now the mind will tell that, Are you're already doing your services. The mind will tell, oh, I should have done that also. Because through that shade, what happens is there is an every chance that you become envious to that particular person. Because that person is doing some other service. And you're unable to do that service. Now, how this mind is tricking? Mind will always trick us. Mind will always cheat us to develop incorrect relationship with others. This is a whole point why nobody has good relationships in this world because everyone is seeing problems in the other person. When I begin seeing the problems in the other person, then how will I develop a relationship with that person? This is exactly happening with husband wife also. Husband if he's seeing problem in the wife, or wife if she's seeing problem in the husband, she cannot develop a good relationship with them. Because see the familiarity what it is taking. This is what exactly happened to Arjuna. Arjuna, through his own state, he is giving priority to the family members more important than what Krishna has told him. This is exactly the problem in this world. We give priorities to our things, but we don't give priorities to what Krishna wants us to give. It's like Arjuna is giving priority not to kill the family members. Rather, he want to come out of that, and then he want to respect them. What is that respect? But Krishna has already told him to fight, but he is giving that as the least important. That means the instructions of the Lord are given least important, and his own instructions are given higher importance. This exactly is the problem in this material world. When we begin giving importance to the priorities of our own things in this world rather than to the service of the Lord, rather than to the service of the spiritual wisdom, then how can I understand spiritual life? Spiritual life means forgetting, spiritual life means their happiness is my happiness. This kind of relationship we should develop with our teachers, with our spiritual teachers. If we develop that kind of relationship with them, then what happens? Then your life is smooth. Oh, you might have difficulties, but you know what to take shelter because your shelter is already fixed up. Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But when this shelter is not fixed up, then we see so many problems in this world. Just like I told in the beginning of the session, your difficulty is not my difficulty. My difficulty is not your difficulty. Because our consciousness is different. And our problems comes through based on our consciousness. Just like a child, he has a small cut. For the small cut child, is really difficulty for him. That's a real problem. For him, it is a big problem. But if the same cut happens to us, do we feel that as a problem? Why? Because you are more mature, because your level of thought process is different compared to the child. Because what is happening? Is it the difficulty in the cut, or the difficulty is in the situation to assess, or the difficulty is in analyzing the thing? The difficulty is not to analyze the thing correctly. It's like Arjuna, the moment he analyzed that what is really important, he spoke all of those things, but he understood one thing is very important. Karpanya dosha apahata svabhava. What is he doing? He's submitting himself. He's surrendering to the Lord. Shishyastayam sadhimam tvam prabha. What is Shishyastayam sadhimam tvam prapanna? Oh, my dear Krishna, you are my spiritual master. I am your servant. I am your disciple. Now I am ready to accept whatever you are telling. You please instruct me and try to help me to come out of this difficulty. This is also a difficulty. But if you actually see, this is a transcendental difficulty. Why? Through this transcendental difficulty, Arjuna is going into a deeper relationship with the Lord. It is not like our difficulty where we are asking the Lord to clear the difficulty so that I can again enjoy my sense gratification. This is not that kind of a difficulty. This is a difficulty of life and death. That's why whoever feels the difficulty is life and death, this Krishna consciousness, this Bhagavad Gita process, what Srila Prabhupada has really, why Srila Prabhupada struggled so much, he will only understand. And that person will take this science very deeply, very deeply. That person will take the shelter of the spiritual master. Srila Prabhupada says, Krishna consciousness is only to the person who takes complete shelter of the spiritual master. If one doesn't have that spiritual teacher, that shiksha and that diksha, if he doesn't have that, then because if Disha is there, but Shiksha is not there, then is the problem. Shiksha is there, Dikshana is not there, still it is okay. But if Diksha is there, Shikshana is not there, it's the greatest blunder. Because we feel puffed up, thinking that I've achieved this Diksha. I've seen so many personalities. Then they leave the movement. They come, they get initiated, and then they leave them. I know one friend. After initiation, he never shown his face again. Comes to the temple once in a while. Never shown his face again. That means his way of taking Krishna consciousness is up until my initiation. That is his understanding. What is this? This is lack of shikshana. When the shikshana is not there, they don't take the process. That's why the shikshana is very important. We should assess, dear devotees, you're all adults. We should assess. It is difficult. How to understand this and move forward. It's very interesting, this dear devotee. This Krishna consciousness was a beautiful, genuine process. It's very genuine. Hare Krishna. Is that okay, dear devotees? Ma, Rupani Mataji?
Yes,
Devote.
Prabhuji, thank you so much for reflecting almost in the whole class. You reflected that when we are the material platform, we are in this dukkha sukha, and cycle, and then we are thinking this dukkha is there, cling to Krishna, not is there, enjoy the material world. And then you also mentioned that, when the trouble is coming, it's the mercy of Krishna, because you explained dukhalayam is astakam and sukhalayam not astakam, right? So already
Sukalam Shashvatam.
Shashwatam. So, I've heard this first time the opposite. So I quote this very often, like among people who are in distress and all. Oh, we already know about it, we are in distress. So, like once we know about it, then, like when the distress is coming, then why worry? Because it will come. And this is the best thing about Krishna consciousness. What I have heard this from one of the lectures of Srila Prabhupada, and it's also in the Shastras that this place is Dukhalem Sastakam. So then I'm thinking if the problem is coming, then this is what the acharyas have given us, that the problem will come and they're temporary. Just we have to, it's like, I'm just giving an example from my mind. Maybe it's like concocted, like, we take a flight. So, we go over and then ultimately flight goes over the mountains. So it's like we have to go at a higher platform because all these clouds and dust and things will be there below, birds and all that. So when the consciousness is going above, and then from there we are seeing, yes, like Dukhalem Sastakam is there. We have to just digest it, accept it. And when it is coming to us, Dukhalem Sastakam, we have to understand that, yes, it's like our acharyas have said this and it's happening, and just move on. So in the same context, Prabhuji, like we say na कि दुख में सुमिरन सब करें, सुख में करे ना कोई, जो सुख में सुमिरन करें, दुख काय को होए. So this chanting process, every day we do in the morning. So that problem is still there in the background, like health problem, money problem, this all kinds of things are there. Sometimes our washing machine does not work. We depend on so many gadgets. Sometimes the AC is not working. Like you said, car is not working. But then what happened is we have to just make it okay, quickly have it done okay. So we can concentrate more on the path of Krishna consciousness rather than taking that problem and making a big pahad out of it. So just a few thoughts. Very nice, Prabhuji. There were so many other thoughts that you mentioned. This class is, although it was like a very short this thing today, but I was glad that we could focus on this, and it's really worth hearing the class again today. Thank you once again, Prabhuji, for your association from
Hare
India,
Krishna.
and we're very fortunate. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Anyone would like to add anything? Like to share? Any further questions?
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes,
I have a
Shamshan.
question. So when you say Dukkalayam Ashashvatam, so both are two related words, or both are separate words? Like when you say Dukkalayam and Ashashvatam, or is it
Both
only
are
the
separate words. Words are separate, but they are together.
okay, only the it means the miseries whatever we get in this material world are temporary. Do we have to understand like that, or the miseries will
Yes.
definitely come because this is the kalayam, and
Basically,
temporary because everything is temporary in the material world, because we have to anyway leave.
temporary because that's the nature of this creation.
Mm, okay.
We should always connect to the root. Temporary, why it is temporary? Who created it as temporary? We should come to the point that Krishna has created this as a temporary place.
Mm,
Any time when we assimilate anything in this world, we should always try to go to the root. This is the best practice we should do. When we always try to go to the root, then what happens is we'll actually be connected to the absolute truth. For example, a husband is married to the wife. They have children. Who is the source of the children? Is that husband source of the children? Or the wife is the source of the children? It generally says the husband is the source. Who is the source of that husband? Where that husband came? From his father. Who is the source of that father? So when we try to assimilate the truth, when we understand it is directly coming from Bhoktaram Yajnatapasa, Sarvaloka Maheshwar, Surudar Sarvabhutanam Gyatramam Shantirichi, it is coming from the Lord, Supreme Lord. And
mm,
this conviction of coming from the Supreme Lord is given to us by the teacher, by the acharyas, by their following, by Srila Prabhupada, by his wonderful followers. We understand that. So these two words, Dukhalayam Ashashvatam. Shashvatam is temporary, Dukhalayam is a miserable place. These are two words, but they are connected to one thing, which is material world. And this is how Krishna has designed this world. Because Krishna wants us to take this opportunity and then come back to Him, understanding that this is Dukhalayam. Now, when the Lord says Dukhalayam Ashwasam, now we have to put this into our life and then see, is it really Dukhalayam Ashwasam? Or is it or just telling? When we see, when we are very honest to ourselves, we can understand yes, it is really Dukhalayam and Ashwasam. That means the miseries are coming, but they are going also. Likewise, these bodies, they come, they go also. Just like the miseries are coming and going, likewise these bodies are also coming and going. That means within the body we have miseries, they come and go. And within this material world, these bodies are temporary, they come and go.
okay.
On one level, miseries do come and go. On the other level, bodies also do come and go. But they are all part of this temporary creation, which is this material world. And why is this temporarily created? That is the nature of the Lord. That is the will of the Lord. He created this world like that. Because He wants everyone to understand that He wants us to be back with Him. That is why He created this as a temporary creation. You can actually get the glimpse of the spiritual world in this world. You can also get the glimpse of so-called a little happiness in this material world. You can get the glimpse of the spiritual realm. You can also get the glimpse of this material world. Through the glimpse of this material world, one is connected to this world continuously. Even though it is deemed as temporary, but it is continuous. Why it is deemed as temporary? Because it stops again it unwinds, again begins, again stops, again unwinds, again begins. It says temporary. Why? Because it unwinds. It says eternal because it is continuing. Two things are there. That means in this material world, we can continue to gratify our senses in different bodies and then we can continue our existence. Or other option, we can use this material world to understand this absolute truth and move forward to the higher plane, which is free from all the obstructions and the destructions of this world. That's what we have to do. So sober person will try to understand, will try to assimilate why there are difficulties here and what is the real difficulty. That is very important question. A sadhaka should ask. If a sadhaka is asking that important question, why there are difficulties in this world, and then who is actually helping me? Who's the real savior for me in this world? It's a spiritual master, it's a supreme personality of Godhead. It is through their association, through their both of their association, we're able to connect to the absolute truth. Lord has given the facility. Spiritual master will actually show us how to use this facility. Hope you're understanding the difference.
Yeah.
Lord has given the facility. Spiritual master will show how to use this facility.
Yeah.
So we're indebted to both of them. So that's a mercy. No doubt it is temporary. But what is the solution out of this? The real problem is birth, death, old age, disease. There are no other problems in this world. If you actually see on a higher plane, just like Mataji was sharing, when you go to the plane, when you go to the higher, when you go above the mountain, when you go away from the clouds, then you see everything. You don't see anything down, but you understand there is no obstruction for the flight. Because it's all clear. Then you see small lights. You see small small particles. It's like you kind of see the small light. The moment you see small lights here and there, you see that there is a city or something like that. That means you can assimilate from the top. Likewise, when we understand this truth from their perspective, in the truth which they are giving, then it becomes a beautiful process to connect. Then you understand the platform which the Lord has given is the greatest opportunity for us to correlate again to this truth. And that is the whole point. There is death, there is birth again. Why there is birth again? Because of my attachments. Why there is death again? Because this body is temporary. Because the attachments within this particular body are not fulfilled. I have to take another body. So this is a cycle. That's how it goes continuously. Is that okay? I'm sure Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you for the explanation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Anyone else like to add? Hare Krishna. There are no questions. We'll stop it here. Thank you all very much. If I caused an inconvenience in my words, please excuse me. I'll stop
Hare
it here.
Krishna,
Thank you
Prabhuji.
very much.
Yeah, sorry, Prabhuji. Dhanyavad Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Thank you so much for this lecture class. And you explained this verse so nicely, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. If anybody has any question or comment, otherwise we can end up the call here.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, Vancha Kalpatarvascha, Krupa Sindhu Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo namo namah.
Koti Vaishnava ki Jai.
जय
Jai.
जय
Prabhupada ki
जय
The Prabhupada ki
की
jai.
जय
NeelGovind
NeelGovind Prabhu ji ki jai.
की जय
Jai.
थैंक यू प्रभु जी
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Hare
Hare Krishna. Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Hare
Bol, Hare.
Hari Bol.
Hare Hare.
Hari Bol.